And the first panel, we will see in Sioux City Port Academy, are being gathered. And the principal said, "Student, you all become players of the inner world today. And this is Principal Jinlong." And Principal Jinlong said, "The system will decide your class the moment you enter the formation. Whether you become a strong warrior, an unshakable knight, an uncle assassin, or the power of full mage, it will be decided by your fate. I believe that all of you will turn into powerful individuals of the respectable classes. And I won't say more." Activation, the transfer formation. And this is Xiaoyu, our protagonist. Xiaoyu said, "It's been 18 years since my reincarnation. Finally, that time has come. Unlike art, this artificially developed inner world suddenly appeared and mankind was overturned from then on. Various difficult dungeons appear all around the world. Upon reaching the age of 18, all humans get abilities through the transformation. Use them to clear said dungeon. By killing the monsters, they can level up and gain attribute points to increase their powers. And our protagonist enter the transformation. The system say, this is your first time entering the inner world. Would you like to start and draw your class? And our protagonist said, yes. I begging to all gods that I get a good class. Suddenly, the system drawing the ability of our protagonist. And the system said, congratulations on getting into hidden class. Now you are a necromancer. And our protagonist said, holy shit, that's so awesome. The necromancer is a very rare class. There are only few in the entire world who can get it. You can summon countless of high living undead creatures from the gates of hell with just a single wave of your staff. As long as you have enough mana, a necromancer can be a one-man army. Usually, getting a hidden class means you turn out to be as strongest than others. Then, Xiaoyu check her attributes and the system show up the attributes. Our protagonist shocked and said, what's my spirit is 0. A necromancer with 0 spirit. The initial attributes points are randomly distributed just like your class. And the highest you can get is 10. Spirit is the mage most important. To attribute, if it's below 5, how can enough even fight? System say, do you wish to draw for your talent? Xiaoyu said, do what you want, I'm dumb always. Even if I get an S-grade talent, I'm useless with a spirit at 0. System drawing another talent. Suddenly, an immense power show up to our protagonist. And the system say, congratulations on getting talent. The brave heart of a mage. Grade unknown. Gaining 2 attribute points. The system appeared and said, the brave of the heart of the mage. Passive effect. Player Xiaoyu is awarded with 3 attribute points upon killing an enemy using physical attack. Only 1 attribute can be bound before using the active effect. Our protagonist shocked and said, oh my god, I didn't read that wrong, right? To get 3 attribute points is always impossible. They very hard to get. You can only get them while level up. With this passive, as long as I kill the enemy with physical attacks, I can get attribute points in all attributes. A newbie with no in all attributes, I become a monster that will be recorded in history. If I wait till my strength attribute reach 1000 or even 1 million and use this skill, then a necromancer with 1000 points in each attribute, I truly become a terrified monster. My passive requires me to attack physically. So, isn't strength the most as important? System, the 10 attribute points, put it all into strength. Next up is to register and finish the beginner task. And our protagonist transporting to beginner task. Suddenly, another portal, and a girl appeared. The girl say to our protagonist, hello, respectable player, I am your guide, Elaine. May I ask if you need any help? Our protagonist in her mind, what a pretty lady. Is she really just an NPC? Our protagonist say, I'm here to register and accept my beginner task. Girl, say, no problem, I will be happy to help. This is your beginner gift. Girl, give to our protagonist a old robe and beginner stuff. And our protagonist equipped these items. And said, still this stick looks like very strong with 20 points of strength. It's going to be very useful for heating things. Said to the girl, what's my beginner task? And the girl say, your task is to escape from the misty cave. For this task, you have to be very careful. You must not kill any skeleton soldier and find the quickest way to escape. If not, suddenly the girl is stopped and finding our protagonist. And said, where did he go? Our protagonist entered the portal. And our protagonist say, was the NPC saying something? Whatever. It's not like the beginner task. Will be difficult. Why are there skeletons everywhere? Suddenly, a skeleton ghost appeared in the back of our protagonist. And said, "Who's there?" Suddenly, our protagonist got her stuff and preparing for a battle. He strike the skeleton and it's just a one hit. Our protagonist is said as dead. Not being able to use magic is really tough. Systems say, player Qiaoyu has defeated the skeleton soldier with physical attack. 1 points in strength equals 1 points in attack power. Same goes for the other attributes, which mean if the opponent has a 0 defense, I will deal 42 damage in 1 hit. This skill is equivalent to being able to use 1 point of strength, as 2 points is simply not human. Suddenly, another skeleton appeared to our protagonist. Qiaoyu said to herself, well, I should focus on finishing my task first. A lot of skeleton appeared and preparing to attack. When the skeleton is about to hit our protagonist, Qiaoyu is level up, adding the 4 attribute points I got from killing the skeleton soldiers. My strength has now increased to 30 points. For a normal beginner, they're considered a genius if they have 10 points in one attribute. But are the skeleton soldier in the mystic cave for us to farm levels would have that be too easy. Another monster appeared, and this is the skeleton captain. Qiaoyu said 15 strength. I'd be in the trouble if I get hit by this monster. But it only has 1 agility. I win if I make move first. He strike the captain skeleton, but the skeleton monster blocked the attack of our protagonist. The skeleton captain hit our protagonist. Qiaoyu said that must attack while defending, and it easily smushed the ground. Qiaoyu said there's a gap. Qiaoyu strike the stomach of the skeleton captain, and he jumped higher and said this is my chance. And tried to block this. Qiaoyu strike the skeleton captain, and the skeleton captain will be defeated. Qiaoyu said if the beginner task is already difficult, how did the others complete this? I remember the principal saying that there's a chance of a card dropping after defeating a monster. Random rewards can be received when you open this. He grabbed the monster card and said, I wonder what I get. And the gauntlet appeared. Qiaoyu said it would be great if it was a tournament item. Suddenly, more skeleton appeared. And our protagonist is shocked to this. And the number of skeleton is increasing. Qiaoyu said even I'm level 2 now, my health is still pitbull 20 points. I have to be careful not to get hit accidentally. Qiaoyu fighting for his lives. And it will defeat it all. Qiaoyu said I level up again. Check the attributes screen. Otherwise, in outside school, a student talking about what they got powers. The other said I'm a warrior class. The other student said everyone is basically out. Why hasn't the principal announced anything yet? Other students said don't tell me there's still someone inside. How that's possible? How long can you even take on such a simple task? The other student said although the skeleton soldiers inside are strong, they run very slowly and cannot catch you up with us at all. The other student said if someone can still fail and die inside, I'm going to love my teeth. The other student said why isn't Qiaoyu out yet? There's no way something happened to him, right? Inside the portal, Qiaoyu defeated all the skeleton soldiers. And said why isn't there a notification for my task completion? Suddenly, a horrible sound appeared and said how dare you? Qiaoyu shocked. And all the skull is floating. And another monster is combining together. Suddenly, a terrible monster appeared at the front of our protagonist and said roar. Qiaoyu said are you kidding me? Why is there a boss in a beginner task? Did they want all the beginners die? And the boss skeleton is about to attack. And the skeleton boss tried to hit our protagonist Qiaoyu. Qiaoyu jumped. Qiaoyu said luckily I dodged that, if that had hit me I probably have died. Although this pillow is strong it's not very nimble, which is my only advantage now. Our protagonist Qiaoyu slashed the skeleton boss. And said my attack worked although it only did 32 damage, which is to say as long as I can successfully attack the skeleton boss about 10 more times I'll be fine. Qiaoyu slashed the skeleton boss multiple times. The skeleton boss is taken down by our protagonist. Qiaoyu said is this the pillow reality just here to scare people? There is still 200 horsepower left, this should be all end soon. Suddenly Qiaoyu shocked what he saw, and the boss skeleton spoke and said I guarded the Cave of Mists for so many years. But I never seen would be possible. Now I have to restrict its movement first, and Qiaoyu see something. Instead that boulder behind it looks like it's going to fall soon. Qiaoyu managed to run to the boulder, and Qiaoyu said to the boss come at me you big black head. The skeleton boss anger and strike our protagonist Qiaoyu, and our protagonist is about to die. The skeleton boss preparing for another attack, and our protagonist is so shocked it is And when he strike the boulders on the top of the cave has been fallen to skeleton boss. But the skeleton boss has managed. Qiaoyu said I can hold on much longer, I have to end the fight quickly before it is done back up. Qiaoyu jumped on the air and said kill it in one strike. Qiaoyu said skeleton boxing glove and he used the glove in gathering the yellow energy to the boss and he strike the head of the boss. Qiaoyu blow the head of the boss skeleton. Suddenly the system appeared and said to our Qiaoyu. The beginner quest escaped from the Cape of the Mists has been completed. Congratulations Mr. Qiaoyu on official becoming one of the underworld players. I have been detected. The one player Qiaoyu defeated the boss Skeleton King. Thought a melee fight. 10 pre-stat points have been awarded an extra plus 50 and Qiaoyu managed to level up and he now is level 5 and suddenly the earth has been appeared and give our protagonist the item and this is the Ring of the Mists. Item and this is the Ring of the Skeleton King. Qiaoyu said not bad although it's not as strong as the skeleton boxing glove, its advantage is our protagonist. On her mind first kill that those mean that no one killed that Skeleton King before now, then how did they pass the trial? And our protagonist walk and said whatever, I live first. And our protagonist Qiaoyu walked to the world. Suddenly a fat guy hug our protagonist. Qiaoyu said Xiao Gui, what are you doing? Xiao Gui said Qiaoyu, what happened to you? What do you take so long to complete a beginner mission? I almost thought you died in there. Qiaoyu said all of you completed the beginner mission and come out very quickly. And the fat guy say yup, it has been 3 hours since the last mission person come out. Qiaoyu said alright, what's class did you get? Youngid said I got the mage class, I made you know. Suddenly another dude appeared and said Qiaoyu, so you're the last one out? And this handsome boy named Meipe and said he just a beautiful base, why does it matter if he looks handsome? And the inner world talent is the most important thing. Do you know, Qiaoyu, what I got class? Because, Qiaoyu, on her mind, why does this Meipe like pick on me? Suddenly, a principal appeared and said, alright, all students have completed their inner world registration. Tomorrow, every classroom will be formed groups to participate in beginner trial. You should introduce yourself, your class, and your talent to each other. The other students said, I'm a warrior class. And other students said, I'm assassin. Other girls said, I'm a mage class healer. Name, Zhou Ziyu. And we will call this girl, Z, for sure. And another girl appeared and said, I'm a tank. And her name is Zhou Yu. And Meipe introduced her power. And he is a Zerg cultivator. The students said, a Zerg and a jug of wine for a pick revenge. The Zerg cultivator is extremely powerful class inside the inner world. The principal said, he's already in the line with the geniuses, with AB talent class. It looks like this. The other students are not bad. And next, Qiaoyu. Qiaoyu introduced herself and said, my class is a necromancer. As for a talent, I can't disclose it yet. God knows, I don't even know what grade it is. And the principal said, necromancer is a hidden class. The student is so shocked. There was once a necromancer who wiped out an entire guild alone. Meipe said, necromancer, how could this be possible? But what if it's a hidden class? Mage are known as to be a Pragal class, they are mostly afraid of assassins in close range combats. Due to always being around undead beings, a necromancer body is weaker than a normal human's. The summoning time is also extremely long. If there are no one teammates protecting the necromancer class, like assassin and a Zerg cultivator, would be like a boss S to necromancer. He didn't say he's talent gray. Other students praised our protagonist and said, wow, looks like Qiaoyu is emotionalist. Is this the manner of a genius of a cool, he got a hidden class, but he's so humble, I can't even compare to him. Other students said, this might be the one difference between us normal people and genius. He's calm and collected. Qiaoyu said, a necromancer that can't even cast a spell, it's just that I'm stronger than an average human. I'm not even sure if I can pass the beginner trial. How could do that? I create a commotion. The principal said, Qiaoyu, you finally made it. After the beginner trials ends, you will definitely enter a top academy. Principal said, after everyone finished introducing themselves. Alright student, the class ends here today, go home and prepare for tomorrow beginner trial. The bad guy said, Hyongdi, Qiaoyu, you really are a cow standing upside down over the top cool. Why didn't get a necromancer class? But luckily, I have 8 mental points and my other Attributes are not bad. My talent is not bad, right? Qiao Yu said, it's no big deal. Hard work can make up for anything. Pyeongchang Di, attributes are only one digit, so what would my 76 points of attributes be invincible? Qiao Yu back to home and said, this house was lived by my parents after they went missing. I always yell, I'm back when I home. When I was 6, my parents said that they needed to make a trip to Jendu. And the parents of our protagonist left the house. Our protagonist said, then they went missing and I become orphaned. It was been 12 years. I must get into Academy of Chengdu and find the truth to this. And the second day, and the student is gathered. And the principal said, for today's trial, I only have one request. If you're not sure if you can make it, remember, you must exit immediately. It's better to fail the trial than to die inside. And the student is so shocked. Principal say, you all don't need to be anxious too. Normal beginner's dungeon are not so dangerous. They would cause the death of the players. But there always exception. There was a major incident, a beginner dungeon. A whole class of poor people eliminated. And no corpses were found. To this day, no one's know what a terrified dungeon is. The only no information about the dungeon is that its name is the Village of Nightmares. And the student is shocked. Don't be so serious too. If you can't exit the inner world in the time, you would be danger. Get ready now. When this timer counts to 0, I bid the time to enter the inner world. And the timer count down until the time is 0. Qiao Yu said, the beginner trial starts now. And all the student has been summoned to the inner world. And the student said to the inner world, is this the dungeon we're supposed to clear? It looks creepy. And Ma Pei said, relax my friend, I, Ma Pei, will protect you all. Mei Pei said to the student, follow me and I'm Mei Pei will bring everyone success. Mei Pei in her mind, so what if you're a necromancer, Qiao Yu? I will prove that only I'm Mei Pei I am most suitable to be this class leader. I'm the strongest man in this whole class. Qiao Yu, our protagonist in her mind, strange. What kind of beginner world is this? Why haven't there been system prompts? A mysterious guy appeared, and the guy said, you're all so young, it's such a pity. Mei Pei said, who are you? I am PC. Qiao Yu said, uncle, what do you mean by that? And the guy said, welcome to Nightmare of Village. The system appeared, and the task is shown. Training requirements, live alive, find the secret at the core of the Village of Nightmares. The student said, the Nightmare of Village. That killed 40 people, the one that no one passed before. And the many students ran and want to leave, and said, I want to go home, I'm not playing anymore. Mei Pei said, everyone, don't worry, I'm Mei Pei will definitely lead everyone out of the Nightmare Village. Qiao Yu said, an E-level world needs you to at least have a level at the early stage where you can discipline. How can we pass this? Levels in other worlds are divided into discipline, early stage, middle stage, and late stage. Discipline are level 1 to 10 early, its stages are 11 to 20, and so on. Suddenly, the student bounced at the exit door. Student said, what happened? They were bounced back as soon as they got near to the door. The guy said, stop struggling as soon as you enter Nightmare Village. You can never leave. The student lost. The guy said, what happened? The guy said, we're done for, we're going to die here, we're all going to die. Qiao Yu said, no wonder that class before us was wiped out. The mission objective is to find the secret at the core of the Nightmare Village. This uncle may be mysterious, but he doesn't seem to be malevolent, and he should be our enemy. And the mysterious guy said, but there's no one need to get too worried. Since you're here, might as well get comfortable. Mei Pei said, I get it. You want us to relax and face the continentally, right? And the mysterious guy said, no, just accept that you die here. And the student shocked. And the mysterious guy introduced himself. Okay, I stopped toying with you. I am the village head of the Nightmare Village, Wogan. Wogan said, there are only 2 requirements. For living in night. No one you can live in any of empty houses, but you cannot under any circumstances touch the black stone on the door. 2. You must return to the houses before dark and close the windows and doors. You cannot open them no matter what. Qiao Yu said, village head, why we can't come out after dark? The village head said, you understand when the night comes. Suddenly, the night has come. And everyone decided to listen to what the village head said and find the house to hide it first. They divided into 4 groups. 11 to group. Zoyu said, for safety, let's rest on the second floor tonight. Z said to our protagonist, Qiaoyu, if there's any danger lately, remember to protect me. Zoyu said, Lucy, how shameless can you be? There's so many classes watching. And the two girls arguing. One time students see something in the window and said, Granny, I miss you. And the grandma said, my grandchild, very cold. This place is scary. Will you open the window to let Granny hug you? And the student opened the window. And the granny looks like a ghost. Qiaoyu said to the student, stop. That's not your granny. And Granny attacked the student. Suddenly, a sun covered the monster. This is because of Yandi powers. Yandi said, I can hold it for long. And the granny transformed into the monster. And this is the nightmare monster. Yandi said, this is nightmare. It's a somehow only normal a monster. Or even little monster that perverted into beginner's strong world. The nightmare monster is going to attack Yandi. Qiaoyu said, damn it, don't come over here. If you eat such a potty meat, you get high tree heights. Suddenly, a shield appeared. And this is protecting Yandi and Zuyu. Zuyu said to Z, heal me. Qiaoyu summoned the undead to restrain these nightmares. Z and Qiaoyu said, okay. Z using healing magic and heal Zuyu. Zuyu said, as long as everyone works together. Dealing with this nightmare, it should be difficult. Now, we just have to stall until Qiaoyu can summon undead. Zuyu shocked and going to attack the nightmare monster. Instead, summoning the undead. Yandi said, Qiaoyu, that's not how you stop. If the nightmare monster close to you, you will die. And Qiaoyu slashed the head of the nightmare monster. And everyone has been stopped but they're so. The student said, a nightmare with a PTHP was killed in an instant, just like that. Other students say, do all necromancer fight like this? Qiaoyu said, the nightmare monster that was killed become a black stone. It's despotating. Zuyu said, the symbol on that thing identical to the one of their frame. They both of Nightmare's village. So, that should be odd. Qiaoyu said, why didn't I get any stat points despite killing the nightmare monster with a melee attack? Zuyu said, Qiaoyu, you have noticed something. Nothing I might be overthink, Qiaoyu said. And the next day, my god, thank the heavens for Zuyu and Qiaoyu last night. Yeah, when I think of the monster now, I still get chills. The student said, I think we can't go wrong with this. He came close to Qiaoyu. He's super strong. He dealt with that nightmare monster in a split second. Meipei said, if I were there, I definitely would have let a girl like Zuyu tank the damage. Hiding behind a girl isn't something a manly would do. Meipei showed his sword and said, I defeat nightmares with a single strike. Class monitor, you're doing morning training this early, how hard work of you, Qiaoyu said. Young D said, as expected of the class monitor, just this bit of effort has been made him surpass a lot of people already. Meipei cutting, and I was just practicing for a second, Meipei said. Meipei said to Zhou, now I mean that I can face a nightmare on my own merit, I don't need to act. Zhou said, Meipei, this sort of thinking isn't right, our teacher already said that we need to work together, you can't just always want to do things to yourself, you should learn from Qiaoyu. Suddenly Qiaoyu noticed something. And the loud noise said, kill them all, and the villagers said, don't let them a single one escape. And the head village said, kill any who resists. Meipei said, what happened? Village head has been some misunderstanding. Village head said, no Mr. Understanding at all, ain't you very clear on that? Good deed you done. Last night Qiaoyu on her mind, there's around the same number of a village people as there. In our class and our ages don't seem to be that different either. Meipei said, last night you mean? As killing a monster? Nightmare's village head said, silent, those are the protector spirits of the Nightmare village, you must broken the rules of Nightmare's village last night, so protector spirit tried to punish you. Village head said, obviously the protector spirits will angered and us villagers will end up suffering alongside them, you should die 1,000 deaths. Meipei said. Village head, then is there any way to save a knight, a protector spirit, if we're accidentally killed? The head village said, there is. The person who angered the protector spirit must be remained outside the house when night falls. Who among you has this kind of courage? Meipei on her mind. No one knows just how many nightmares there in Nightmare's village, and the night might even hide great dangers. Isn't staying outside the house a suicide? Qiaoyu said, enough. I killed the nightmare on the protector spirit. Whatever you want to call it, it will wait here for nightfall. Meipei said. To Qiaoyu, have you lost your mind? A village head, my apologies. Qiaoyu said, relax, class monitor. I haven't lost my mind. There's something I want to verify. It might even help us to leave this world and the villagers tie our protagonist to the cross. Meipei said. Qiaoyu, what did you mean when you said, it might even help us to leave this world and the villagers tie our protagonist to the cross? So you said, you find the secret at the core of the nightmare village. Qiaoyu said, I might have eye tested at night. And the night has come. And the nightmares has been appeared in the village. It's in crawling in the groups. And the nightmare monster is going to attack our protagonist Qiaoyu. Qiaoyu suddenly smiled and the nightmare monster covered by the sand. And this is the power of Yandi. Yandi said, Meipei, act quickly. I can only control that nightmare for a second. Suddenly, Meipei appeared and said, relax, I, Meipei, will definitely take good care of you all. And he slashed the nightmare monster. Suddenly, Meipei shocked. Nightmare monster is attack Meipei. And Meipei said, it's so fast. Did Qiaoyu really kill something like this while being just a mage? Impossible. If Qiaoyu can do it, so can I. Meipei slashed the nightmare monster. Suddenly, Xian and Zuyu appeared and said, we were scared that you'd be in danger all on your own. So we come out to help. Consider it a kind repayment. Qiaoyu said, how can all of you are out here? Zuyu said, we need Meipei to break this chain with his sword. But we can't come here. How so? What should we do? Qiaoyu said, no need. And he break the chain by his own hands. The two girls is nothing to say. Qiaoyu said, look. Is it fine now? Two girls said, are you really a necromancer? Otherwise, the nightmare monster and Meipei is fighting. The two girls and our protagonist has been ready to fight. Meipei said, no need. I can do it. True heroes I created thought fighting scares are amongst badges of pride. Meipei and the monster changing attacks. Meipei said, I see. I should have thought of this. Qiaoyu said, Meipei, actually the weak points of the nightmare isn't in the head. Meipei said, watch this. Watch my next strike carefully. And he strike multiple times the nightmare monster. But the monster didn't die at that attack. And Meipei said, big brother nightmare. What's happened to you? I hit your weak point. Be shotted already. Zoyu said, that's that right. Qiaoyu one-shotted the nightmare by attacking it said. Yandi said, I know. It's an issue with the person. You're not as good as Qiaoyu. Meipei, angry what he heard. And said, I'm not as good as him. I'm a sword man. Cannot compare to him, a necromancer. The nightmare has going to attack Meipei once again. Meipei strike the monster many times. And the monster has been down. And it's only 5 HP only to die here. And Meipei said, one last strike. Suddenly, the head of the monster has been blast. And hit by eye stop. Meipei is so shocked to this because Qiaoyu did it. Qiaoyu said to Meipei, you work hard, glass monitor. Meipei said, Qiaoyu, what are you doing? I killed it, you're stealing my limelight. Qiaoyu said to the limelight, nothing is expected. Otherwise, another nightmare appears to our protagonist. Meipei said, go into the house. There's no need to fight this nightmares. I think I know how to pass. Our protagonist entered the house. Zuyu said, Qiaoyu, what's the way to pass you were talking about? Qiaoyu said, you know tomorrow. When the time comes, just listen to me. The next day, the village head appeared and said, you despicable outsiders. We give you the chance to redeem yourself. But we need to give you an inch. And you took a mile and killed another protector spirit. You should all go to hell. To hell, I say. No matter what you say today, you must all die. We cannot let destroy our nightmare village. Qiaoyu said, village head. Are you really the villagers of the nightmare village? Village head said, rubbish. We live here for a generation. Don't try to stall. By the time your death is ascertained. Qiaoyu said, since things have reached this point, it's time to reveal the truth behind Nightmare Village. There's only one truth. Village head said, what do you mean by that? That is you, and you. And this village is not the original inhabitants of Nightmare Village. All of you are the class that was wiped out in the Nightmare Village previously. We were trapped in this fantasy realm ever since we entered. So, we had no way to leaving the other world. Village head laughing and said, what fantasy realm? Are you making stories? Qiaoyu said, of course, I have evidence. And he showed. One of the limelight the village had said the protector stone you remove the protector stone from each place you should die 10,000 deaths for this. Sins but it's not just him all of the student have this village had said if Anyone tempers with them that Lord will lay down heavily punishment tell you. Said this isn't any protector stone, the entire fantasy realm is made up by this black stone, and this is mysterious symbols on them as long as we shattered. The black stone crocs will appear in the puzzle fantasy realms Kyo and others destroying this protector stone. Suddenly a sky has been shattered and the path has been revealed, and this is the students entered. This other world's memories has been erased by that monster and make them the villagers of this the village of nightmares. And the village head said, I remember now, I am the class monitor. And the monster villagers and all the villagers has back to their human form. The class monitor said, thank you all of you. And the villagers has been back to their original world. Yondi said to our protagonist Qiaoyu, you are really something, how did you know that was the way to pass? Zhaoyu said, why are we still here, didn't we pass? Suddenly the system has been appeared and said, congratulations to 5 players on destroying the Black Nightmare Stone. A new mission has been issued. Retrieve the Heart of Nightmares. Did you like our manhwa review? Please comment and like our video to suggestion. Thank you for supporting. Now we have 500 subscriber to you for your support, and this the part 1 of our review, and see you in our next video.